morning. This morning in the yoga studio, we're going to go over a bit of basic alignment principles in Surya Namaskar A and B, which are your Sun Salutations. I have quite a bit of students and friends that are completely brand new to yoga that have talked to me about how daunting it is to go into a yoga studio, especially a vinyasa studio, when they don't know how to move properly through these quick-paced movements. So we're going to just tone it down a little bit today, take the pace down, move through the positions, and give a little bit of extra time and observation to each transition. And I'll explain to you what it's supposed to feel like in the body and what the alignment should be. So, go ahead and start in downward facing dog. You can pedal it out here. Let the hips sway from left to right. And then slowly walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Folding in between the shins here, take a hold of opposite elbows, micro bend in the knees. So you want your chest to really pour over the thighs. Your head should be nice and heavy. And feeling the feet ground into the earth. Hands come down to the mat. On an inhale, peel all the way up. Roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Inhale, reach up with the arms. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, reach. Exhale, heart center. Shut the eyes down here. Pick up the toes, make them nice and wide, and set them back down here. Pick up the heels. Set them back down. Unroll the shoulders, shoulder blades down the back. Release any tension in the face muscles. And we begin our Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, bow down. Inhale, reach halfway, hands to shins. Nice flat back. Bow forward. Inhale once again, halfway, hands to shins. Really engage through the belly here. So even take your hands away from the shins. Notice if your chest drops. Bring it back up by using that core strength, drawing belly to spine. Hands to shins once again. Inhale. Exhale, fold to the earth. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plank position. So really press the palms in, fingers wide. Step back to the top of the push-up. Pull belly into spine. Shoulder blades down the back. So when we come through plank to low plank, which I'll show you now, it's very important to listen to the alignment cues to keep our elbows nice and safe. So take a deep inhale here. Exhale, come down halfway, elbows in by the ribs, chest is forward. When you come inhale, come to the top of the feet, press through the palms, lift the chest. So thighs are off the mat, we're pressing into the tops of the feet. Chest is nice and open, pressing through the palms to stay lifted. Inhale here. Exhale, use the core, draw the hips back, downward facing dog. Breathe here. So in your vinyasa classes, this movement is more quickly paced, one breath per position. And you'll be moving through it quite quickly, so it's very important to learn the proper alignment before going through it about 50 times in a class. So this is it a little bit more quick. Inhale, you'll come forward to plank. Exhale, come down halfway, elbows in by the ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog to the tops of the feet. Open through the chest, press through the palms. On exhale, use your core, draw the hips back as you tuck the toes under and creating that V shape with the body in downward facing dog. Slowly walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Inhale, come up halfway, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, reach up. Exhale, bow forward all the way down to the earth. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, plank position. Walk back. Inhale here. Exhale, come down halfway, elbows in close to the ribs, shoulder blades down the back. Inhale to the tops of the feet, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we'll go through 2 more of those together, getting a little bit quicker. This time, inhale, bend into the knees. Exhale, hop or float forward. So feet land at the front of the mat. Inhale, rise to standing, reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway, hands to shins. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, come down halfway. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we'll move through it as quickly as you would in a vinyasa class, and we'll add the hop forward. When I say hop or float forward, you want to keep a bend in the knees. And as you bring your weight forward to the front of the mat, you're trying to float the hips over the shoulders. That's not going to be in the very beginning of practice, but with time you engage through the belly to bring the hips over the shoulders and float forward. For now, just hop if you need to. Inhale, bend into the knees. Exhale, float forward. Inhale up halfway, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, reach up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale up halfway. And different here. Exhale, fold, plant the hands. Hop back to chaturanga. Feet come back. Lower. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Slowly walk the feet forward to meet the hands. And fold here, take a hold of opposite elbows. So we'll go through that hop once again. When you're hopping back to chaturanga, you really want to press the palms in, engage through the core so that when you shoot your feet back, your belly is coming into spine, hips are lifted, and then shoot straight back. In the beginning, learning this, of course, it could be a little bit messy, but you really, really want to work into the core and press palms in. These are your 2 biggest cues. So inhale, come up halfway, hands to shins. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, shoot back. So bend in the knees, shoot the feet back, low plank. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Press the heels in. Come down to the knees, let them go nice and wide. Sit back onto the heels. And coming into child's pose. So letting your forehead rest on the earth. And just shut down for a few breaths here. You can massage the forehead from left to right. Slowly beginning to come back up, press back to downward facing dog. So we'll go through this one more time together to just pick up any little last minute questions that you might have as we move through the vinyasa. On an inhale, bend into the knees. Exhale, float forward, engage through the belly, lift the hips. Feet land, fold in. Inhale, come up halfway, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, reach up nice and open. Exhale, bow forward, lead with the heart, palms through heart center down to the earth. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, shoot the feet back, low plank. So when you come here, make sure the chest isn't coming lower. It's staying here in line with the shoulders. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. So we'll go through that a little bit more quickly. Inhale, bend into the knees. Exhale, float forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, reach up. Exhale, bow forward, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, shoot the feet back, low chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, draw back with the hips, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Sit down onto the knees, sit back onto the heels, and breathe. Next, we're going to move into Sun Salutations B now. But make sure with the vinyasas, it might seem like a position that's quite easy to do. Once you do it, you can get the movement down, but what you really want to pay attention to is when you're in chaturanga, when you're in that low plank, you really want to keep the elbows in by the ribs, press the chest forward as you come into upward facing dog, and draw the hips back with the core when you come to downward facing dog. So when the hips come high, the belly is sickling in towards the spine, drawing the hips back. Really, the elbows need to stay in. You want to make sure your chest isn't dumping down towards the earth. I see a lot of people coming into the position here and then opening up. You want to make sure that you're coming down parallel here. So you're parallel with the mat. Your chest isn't dumping down. The hips aren't higher or lower. Inhale, forward to upward facing. And really engage through the belly here. Tuck the toes under. Draw the hips back. Downward facing dog. So come down to the knees, sit back under the heels once again. Take a breath. So as you move through Sun Salutations and you move through vinyasa classes, just be very aware to keep yourself safe in these positions. You want to make sure that you're learning proper alignment, that you're setting yourself up with a strong foundation when you begin yoga, because it's very easy to go into vinyasa classes doing these positions improperly and take that habit throughout your years of practicing yoga. So do your best to observe in your body and notice where you might be misaligned, where you need to be strong. Let's go through Sun Salutations B now. Palms to the earth, press back, downward facing dog. Slowly walk the feet forward to meet the hands. Micro bend in the knees, take a hold of opposite elbows, ragdoll here. Hands to the earth, bring the big toes to touch. Sink into the hips here, nice deep bend in the knees, reach forward with the arms. Belly is away from the thighs. And then reach up at a diagonal, we're finding chair pose. So sinking into the knees, big toes are touching, pressing the inner thighs together. And bring your hands down to your hips. You want to take a hold of the belly and take a hold of the lower back. Tuck the tailbone slightly under, sink a little bit deeper. Engage through the belly, and then reach up with the arms. Shoulder blades move down the back, sink in. So make sure the butt isn't jutting out. We're tucking the tailbone under, and make sure that the arms aren't coming straight up so that you have this curve in the spine and the chest is pressing forward. Then you begin to compress into the thoracic. So reach at a diagonal, ears in line here with the triceps, and sink a little bit deeper. On your next exhale, bow forward. Inhale up halfway, hands to shins. Exhale, shoot back, chaturanga. Palms to the earth. Low plank. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Bring the right foot forward, set it down between the hands, left heel down to a 45-degree angle behind you. Inhale, reach up, Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. So bring hands to the hips. Notice if the left hip is opening towards the left side. You really want to square the hips here. So this might mean bringing the left foot forward and wider just a bit, and so you can square the hips towards the front of the room. It might mean that the right knee isn't bent at a 90-degree angle, but that's okay. You'd rather have good alignment here in the hips, and inhale, reach up. So nice and open across the chest, shoulder blades run down the back. Sink into the right knee as much as you can, but strong through the left leg, staying nice and straight, left hip coming in so that you're in line with the right hip. This position is very hard for many people to do, but it's something that you'll go through in vinyasa classes or hatha quite regularly. So there's many times that students are misaligned in this position and doing it over and over repetitively in these sun salutations. So always shorten your stance if that left hip is popping out. Inhale here. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, come down halfway. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left foot forward. Right heel down, 45 degrees. Peel the chest open, reach up. Bring the hands to the hips again. Notice if the right hip is opening. Pull it back in, scissor the inner thighs. Sink into the left knee. Reach up with the arms. So it's always okay in a position to find a little bit of movement to get into that alignment and not just immediately land in it perfectly. That's a very difficult thing to do. So if you notice that you're misaligned, take the time, step the right foot forward a little bit and wider if you need to. Realign the hips and then sink into the position. Building strength here, letting the body sit with the position a little bit longer to take in those alignment cues so that you build a strong foundation as you move through them more quickly. Deep breath in. Exhale to the earth. Step back, downward facing. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, bend into the knees. Exhale, float forward. Inhale up halfway. Big toes touching. Exhale, fold. Bend into the knees, reach forward with the arms. Reach up, chair pose, Utkatasana. Tuck the tailbone under, belly in, chest open, look forward. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, shoot back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. Inhale, right foot forward, left heel down 45 degrees. Inhale, reach up, Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Square the hips, bend into the right knee. Full breath in. Exhale to the earth, chaturanga. Inhale upward. Exhale, downward. Inhale, left foot forward, right heel down. Reach up through the arms, Spira 1. Square the hips, open across the chest, bend to the left. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Come down to the knees nice and wide. Sit back on the heels. Forehead to the earth. Child's pose. Breathe here. So thank you for joining me for the correct alignment and positioning of Surya Namaskar A and B. I hope that you found it useful if you're just beginning yoga. If you've done yoga many times before, it might be a nice refresher on alignment. I think it's very important to take the time when you first start anything, especially yoga, to learn how to do it safely and properly. We go into so many studios now that move so quickly through vinyasas that there's not enough given time to each student for them to properly learn what their body is supposed to look like and feel like in a certain position. I know that for years I would go to one Monday night class. It was a sweaty yoga class that played popping music, and there was about 60 people in the classroom, and it was so much fun, and that's where I learned to do yoga. But it took 2 years for somebody to realize that I was doing chaturanga incompletely. My elbows were out, my chest was dumping down to the earth, and I was just killing my elbows. After that, I had a lot of issues in my elbows and a lot of pain. And I didn't know that I was doing it incorrectly. It looked like what everybody else was doing, but I didn't register what it felt like in my body. So anytime that you're coming into a new position with yoga or a new type of yoga, jump online, go on Google, see, and you can search on YouTube exactly what it is that you're learning and how to do it safely and properly. If you don't have time to learn about it in class, this is such a great tool for you to find out how you're supposed to be doing something properly. The whole point of yoga is to take care of our bodies, so that's what we need to be aware and conscious of doing. Anyways, thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you on your mat again soon. Have a beautiful day.